How's it going, guys? My name is Graham and welcome to Two Left Thumbs. Today I want to talk to you about the Sokpop Collective. If this is something you've never heard of, then obviously you don't follow Brian David Gilbert as closely as I do, and that should be remedied. What Sokpop is a collective of 4 indie developers who banded together to make this project. You may have heard of them before through Similand, Burn Band, the Bamboo EP, maybe more recently Soko Loco Deluxe, but I actually originally found them back through Original Hill Farming. I kept seeing the most ridiculous GIFs ever popping up from this one developer in this one game. It was an incredibly charming art style, a ridiculous looking game, it looked incredibly fun. Then I find out that this guy is a part of a larger group that has a huge presence in the game jam world. They would take part in IGF, Day of the Devs, and Fantastic Arcade on a regular basis. After they realized they kind of had this shared collective passion and mentality when it came towards game development, they banded together and started a Patreon, which at this point has been running for about a year and a half. And in that time, they have released 2 games per month for as little as $3. So yeah, at this point, it's like 40 games. The catch here is that you only get access to those games for 1 month. If you're signed up for the Patreon, you can claim it, you then own it in perpetuity, but you have to have been a patron at the time that the game was made available. Otherwise, those games are available over on itch.io for $3 each. So yeah, you can still get the games after the fact, it costs you twice as much. So yeah, there's some math that you should be doing there. You can either pay the $3 and pay $1.50 per game, alongside having Discord access. You could buy every individual game for $6 and no Discord. There's another tier on the Patreon that's actually $5, gives you access to the 2 games, the Discord, and you can be a beta tester on their larger projects like Original Hill Farming and others. There's a tier above that for $10 where you can actually get the source code of these games and you get access to a developer channel of the Discord. So yeah, if you love this sort of experimental game jam mentality because you are a player and you want to just experience this stuff and see what kind of weird things are popping into these guys' minds, then yeah, you can get in at that $3 level and you're going to get that full experience. If you're more interested in the development side of things, you get in at $10 and you just get this plethora of source code and knowledge and the ability to interact with these guys and cool stuff like that. It's weird that I've been aware of this for a long time, and I wonder if it almost felt like the sort of thing like, yeah, right, you guys are going to make 2 games a month, every month. I'm sure that'll fall apart after 4 months. There'll start being excuses and what have you. No, not at all. A year and a half, 2 games per month. These guys are amazingly reliable, super consistent, and they're rounding the corner to the point where they can fully sustain themselves and this project through Patreon alone. And that's massive, because these 2 games are happening no matter what, but with that amount of freedom, that means they can also start putting out these larger projects. And if you look at more than 4 seconds of screenshots and GIFs and stuff from these guys, I definitely want to see more bigger projects from them. I really love what these guys are doing. I regret not getting in as a Patreon before, and I also noticed this weird void of people not covering these guys on YouTube, with the exception of the lovely BDG, as us fanboys call them. Brian, you ever want to play games together? It would be my genuine pleasure. Anyways, I was talking with the Sokpop guys, and we thought it would be really cool to do like this big full-on push for their Patreon. They graciously gave me access to their catalog of games that I didn't have access to by not being a patron sooner, which at this point is 40 games. Some of which I bet you are like 5 minutes long. Some of them are like an hour. They span every genre you can think of. They all have weird, distinct styles. Now and again, something catches like Soko Loco and they start developing it into a larger project. You can buy that one on Steam. As a welcome mat and an introduction to what this channel does, as an encouragement and a plea to go support what they do on Patreon, I'm going to be playing 1 Sokpop game per day on the channel. That is going to be completely in addition to whatever else we're doing that week or month, because it's going to take over a month to cover all those games. In the time it takes me to play those 40 games, probably 3 more will have come out. So yeah, it's going to be like 43. And at that point, I plan to cover the games of theirs every 2 weeks as they're coming out. But yeah, there's going to be this big push up front. Every one of those videos is going to have a quick thing at the top for me just explaining these guys are doing something very cool. They're basically game jamming by themselves every 2 weeks. You can get in on it for only $3. I'll make sure to keep that brief since I'm explaining it all here first. At which point I'm just going to dive in, play it for as long as I feel it takes to show it off, or as long as I'm having fun with it. I'm pretty excited for it. It might be a fair amount of work, but I'm hopeful that with each additional video, people get that much stronger of a sense of what these guys are doing and are that much more excited to go and support them. Normally, we have a little Patreon link in the corner of our end cards of the videos. I'm going to make sure that that's a Sokpop Patreon link. I'm going to make sure that's in the description of every video. The thumbnails for these videos are all going to have a specific color coordination that I guess I haven't picked yet. I'll have to think about that. And they'll have like a Sokpop picture icon in the corner so you know that that's what it is. If you're like very specifically interested in this, I'll also have a playlist of it. I'll put a link to that down below, I guess. So if somewhere down the line you're like, yeah, I want to binge the hell out of everything these guys have done, that's the place to do it. This is going to be fun for me. I'm going to enjoy myself no matter what. But ideally, I'm sending people over their way. I haven't started this yet, but I'm planning to record this as a backlog so that I don't miss days. You know, fingers crossed, I trust that I can get that done. So starting tomorrow is going to be the first one of those uploads, and the 40 odd days after. Should be a good time. Thank you guys so much for watching. This end card thing, whatever side it's on, that's a Sokpop one already, so you can immediately go check it out. Maybe for now you just choose to follow and somewhere down the line you pledge. You do you guys. I'll see you again soon.